Today we are changing states once again, heading north out of Utah. Gone is the red desert and arches. Now we're up into this beautiful country here, passing into Idaho. Just gorgeous drive up this way. This is just some of the most quintessentially perfect American farmland you will ever see. Climbing up the big hill, heading towards West Yellowstone, be entering the park from there. Really important to check online if you can before you get here. This morning when we were leaving Utah, there was a 2-hour wait to get into the park. When we got here, made it into Yellowstone with 2-3 cars in front of us. Seriously, no wait at all. We got so lucky. And just like that, we are into the park. And for all of us, this is our first time at Yellowstone, so none of us have been here before or seen any of this. Really excited to check out this beautiful and historic national park. There is a lot to see here. We've got 2 nights booked, so we're going to spend about 3 days here checking out some of the wildlife and all the other cool things. That looks pretty warm. And our first stop is going to be here at the Mud Volcano, enjoying the sights and smells. Oh yeah, I can really smell that. And the smell, of course, comes from the sulfur. This whole area's geothermal activity is rich in hydrogen sulfide, so you get that rotten egg smell a lot of the places you go here. And it might not look like much, but apparently this thing geysers high enough to put that hot mud up into some of the tall trees in this area. Don't want to be around for that. And we've got another cool feature over here. This pit of certain death here is the aptly named Dragon's Mouth Spring, named for the steam shooting out in a smoke-like manner, as well as the rumbling sound you kind of get out of there. Ourselves a beautiful day out here. We're actually here in the middle of summer, but it's not really hot out. There's still snow around, and we're dealing with like some 65-degree temperature here, which ain't bad. Definitely works out for the hound. Baby, were you whining? Yeah, sadly this park is not really dog friendly, which I sort of get. You don't want them going off leash or getting near these crazy vents and stuff, but we brought ours with us on this trip, so we're gonna try to make the best of it. For the most part, she just enjoyed being along for the ride. Our next stop is over here at Yellowstone Lake. This is where you'll find the Lake Yellowstone Hotel. This is the oldest still operating hotel in the park. It's built in 1891, a full 25 years before the creation of the National Park Service, which is pretty crazy. We didn't stay at this one, but we did enjoy the grounds for a bit, which had plenty of buffalo wandering around. I've only been here for a few hours. We haven't even gone very far. We've already seen 3 moose and a shit ton of buffalo. They're everywhere here. God, there's one right in front of me. Never a dull moment in this park. Pretty much always just a few feet away from a deadly encounter with some kind of wildlife, so best to keep your wits about you and keep a safe distance. And right in the same area as the Lake Yellowstone Hotel is the Lake Lodge Cabins. Now, I couldn't find too much on the internet about the history of this place. I gather that it was built around the 1920s, but God, look at this lobby. This place is really amazing. I was kind of hoping to find some more about that. If anybody knows some of the history about this particular lodge, love to hear about it. Please comment below. But yeah, we really enjoyed this one. And actually, our friend Greg is staying here. Rented himself one of these old cabins they've got here. It's actually a pretty good deal. You get your own souvenir bag. Yeah, what's in there? A little closet? Mike's coming out of the closet. Yep. Not bad, though. Great location, middle of the valley, pretty much near everything. Right by Yellowstone Lake. $150 a night. Get your own cabin. Lasso your door. Yeah. That is some Wyoming shit right there. And speaking of that Lake Yellowstone, of course we had to come check it out our first night here. After all, we are staying pretty much right on it. Beautiful sight out here. This is a very large lake. It's about 20 miles long, about 14 miles wide. It is the largest high-elevation lake in the country. This thing is freaking huge, and the water is freezing. Now we're staying right next to here at the Fishing Bridge RV Park, which was some very nice full RV hookup accommodations, pretty good price. Gotta say though, it was kind of just a glorified parking lot, but you do get showers and flushing toilets and full RV hookups, so you can sit and watch Ocean's 11 in the middle of Yellowstone the way God intended. Starting off day 2 here, you know we had to come see Old Faithful, biggest tourist draw in the park. And we showed up pretty much right as it was going off. Was a few minutes behind the scheduled time. Come on, Old Faithful. You gotta earn that name.
Oh, she getting angry.
No, not bothered.
Nice. Woohoo!
If you're wondering why we're standing so far back, it's because there is a limit to how far you can bring your pets.
Lacey, look at the geyser.
I don't think Lacey was all that impressed, to be honest. But the rest of us were. It was definitely a cool sight and a huge parking lot. I was amazed. Look how crowded it is. There was tons of parking still. Also got a pretty impressive visitor center and museum. It's all free, of course, once you enter the park. Spent a few minutes in here perusing around, but we're looking to get back on the road. We've got a lot more to see. These plank sidewalks were certainly a pleasant surprise. Makes walking around a lot of these geothermal features super easy. Even my old mom was able to do a lot of them. This you see here is known as the Silex Spring. Crazy shade of blue. Even more impressive in person. I'm not sure the camera really does it justice, but it is pretty. And right next door are the fountain paint pots, which apparently much of the year can be some real cool hues of red and yellow. We were there, it was mostly just gray, but the fountain portion of the name definitely rang true. Oh, this one just started geysering right in front of us. That was a calm pool just a minute ago. Never know what you're going to get here. Working our way up kind of the western side of the park, up from Old Faithful. Grand Prismatic was way too crowded this time. We're going to try again later, see if we got better luck. Instead, we've ended up at Firehole Canyon Drive. This is a cool little offshoot of the main highway. It's a one-way road, too small for RVs. Luckily, Greg brought his F-150, and it goes right along the Firehole River and even into the Firehole Falls. Very cool scenic drive. If you're here and you're not in a big RV, I would very much recommend the 10-minute or so detour to go along this drive and check out some of the scenery. One thing you notice as you drive around the park is just how big it is. It's a very large park. I read a number of sources on the internet that said, take your time, it's going to take a long time to drive through. They said about 4 hours. Took us closer to 6, though they were repainting the lines this particular week. So a couple of times we got stuck behind these trucks as they were painting. Huge line of cars. It can slow the pace down a bit. But even just a wildlife crossing or anything can really slow down the pace. So plan for a lot of time just to drive around the park. That's mostly what we did this first full day. And we had a great time. Nobody complained about it. It was a lot to see. Hi, baby. Oh, look at them ears. Yeah, isn't that cool? Worked our way to one of the most crowded parts of the whole park. This is the lower falls at what they call the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. Now, there are a number of places to park or hike to get some amazing views of the canyon and the falls. This was one of the easier ones. We didn't go too crazy with my mom and dog here and everything. But the canyon and the falls were amazing, definitely worth checking out. Kind of wish they had a different name, maybe something unique to Yellowstone instead of kind of cashing in on the Grand Canyon name, but I digress. Anyways, we're going to work our way back down to the campsite. Got a few things down there we want to check out too.
What'd you find, pup? Something good?
I noticed here at the park she really loves sniffing around. There's got to be just all kinds of crazy shit she smells that she's never smelled before. Definitely doesn't sniff like this at home. Anyway, Mike and I are about to hop on the bikes. There are a bunch of cool bike trails throughout this area around the Fishing Bridge RV park. It's definitely a little different than the bike paths back in San Diego, I'll tell you that much.
Where we're going, we don't need roads. Okay, but I might need 2 hands.
I think we're getting close to the end. Oh, nice. Damn, there's waves.
Do you see the different color in the water?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can see where it gets super deep. Out there, it just turns blue. Yeah, we really weren't too sure what to expect out here with the weather, but a little cold and windy today. Wasn't expecting to see waves at the lake, but sure enough, here at the shoreline, pretty decent little waves breaking. Kind of cool. Hard to believe it's already day 3, our final day in Yellowstone. It sure goes quick. We've still got one more amazing sight to check off the list. This was actually the top of the list, the Grand Prismatic Spring. Always wanted to see it. Now we get to. Hell yeah. And it wasn't easy. Parking here is definitely the most difficult area we saw in the entire park, so definitely want to plan for that. Down here by the parking lot now, this is where the water flows back down into the Firehole River. Head up these plank sidewalks to the colorful springs. And there are a number of springs in this area, each one crazy colors and shades of blue and orange. Real pretty stuff. Very amazing to see, especially in person. And once you get back to this area here, this is where the boardwalk leads you to the Belle of the Ball. This is the Grand Prismatic Spring. It is the biggest, most colorful one in the valley, and it is absolutely amazing to see in person. To be a viewpoint up on that hill back there to the west of the lakes. That's pretty cool. Probably amazing view from up there. I'll put that on the list for next time. We did see a number of animal tracks right in this area. Definitely not allowed to get off the boardwalk or anything, so I imagine these are wild. I don't know. Some of them look like horses. Some of this looks like bear. I don't know. Is that maybe a bear print? I don't know, tough to tell. I am definitely no expert on animal tracks, but there is wildlife that wanders up through here. Definitely several sets of prints. This was actually the summer too. Just a week after we came here was when that bison wandered into the pits and met its demise. It actually did it right in front of a bunch of tourists. Made national news. Pretty freaking insane. But yeah, that water is boiling and it is deadly. Oof. Luckily today, nothing grim happened. Just a beautiful day up here, kind of on the hill, looking down into that valley. My God, that view just stretches forever. Whole time I was kind of wondering just how hot that water is, especially as it kind of travels along the ground. Did actually see a guy reach down off of the boardwalk and touch it with his hand, which you're definitely not supposed to do. That's why we didn't do it, but he said it was warm, but not crazy hot, so I don't know, I guess maybe it does cool off as it moves along the ground. Still pretty cool just to watch it flow down the hill into the river, coming out of those crazy, colorful springs. I actually sat here on the boardwalk for a good bit and just kind of watched the water flow down. It's a bit mesmerizing. And just a bit north now of Grand Prismatic Spring, still along that same Firehole River, and decided to get out and get our feet wet, get in the water a little bit. Tons of places where you can just kind of pull off and have your own little private river access here. There were other people, there were fishermen and stuff along here, so not totally remote. Was kind of joking. We hope this wasn't the first time we did finally see a bear on this trip. I don't think I'd be ready to deal with that and pretty much be a sitting duck out here on my inner tube. But no bears were seen this trip, so we just enjoyed the river. Got to get in it at least once here. Really feels amazing. And just about heading out of the park now, getting pretty close to West Yellowstone. We had to pull off because this is the biggest herd of bison we have seen this entire trip. We've seen tons of them everywhere, but this is just a massive family of them, or maybe multiple families. Not too sure how that works. big old male over there. But God, yeah, I counted at least 40 of them. I busted out my nature scope and just kind of sat here a few hundred yards away. But, oh God, there's little baby ones and just all different ages and sizes, just all chilling out in that field. That is pretty amazing to see, and not something you'll see in most parts of this country. Kind of a perfect way, if you ask me, to end our 3 days in Yellowstone. We all had an amazing time here, and it is time to get back on the road. Next, we're heading into Idaho. Still a lot more camping to do on this trip, a lot more to see. If you want to see where we end up next on our next night's camping trip, subscribe to my channel. Got another video coming out soon. See the rest of Idaho and a whole bunch of stuff as we make our way back the long way to San Diego. A lot more to see. Thanks for watching.